Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about the official trailer that just came out for Season 3 of You. If you haven't seen it already, I'll include a link to it in the description down below. But what I'm about to start off by saying this is going to be kind of weird, but I kind of thought Joe and Love were going to make it. In a sense, I thought it'd be kind of like a happily ever after. But I guess even knowing how the ending of Season 2 worked, like, of course that wouldn't be, because, like, obviously there's a lot of underlining issues. First and foremost, Joe went into this relationship super reluctant, finding out, like, everything that Love did, which I love that whole thing of, like, she's like, why does everyone think I'm so impulsive, which she is. And I think that's why they're also a weird match, because Joe is very calculated, whereas Love doesn't seem like she is. She's very like, I'm gonna, like, it's a weird thing to say, but it seems like she almost, like, I mean, I guess almost because, like, she loves too much and too hard, it's like her emotions run too high, and so, like, she's willing to, like, go, like, immediately, like, I'm feeling something, I'm gonna do it. Whereas Joe's a little more reserved, which is weird to say for Joe, but you get what I'm saying? It makes them a weird opposite matchy. But also, it's like, after everything she did, Joe was reluctant to go into this relationship, but he did because of, like, right, you're pregnant, and he's just kind of like, right, am I really into this relationship because I love you, which I think there used to be love, but that's also part of Joe's, like, psychology, where it's like, oh, he sees someone and he fixates on them and thinks they're perfect, but it's like, oh, these little things in your life, I'm gonna remove this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that for you, and then everything's gonna be perfect. But the problem is, he finally got Love at the end of the day, but she wasn't perfect because there are some underlining issues and some complications there, where it's like, oh, because I love that he's like, oh, I married a monster. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're not all sunshines and rainbows yourself, you know? But I think the thing is that I feel like, at least from Season 2, Joe's become a little more self-aware of his circumstances, whereas he was completely oblivious. He was thinking, like, no, I'm the good guy. Like, he thought that all Season 1, thought that part of Season 2, but I think he came to realize, like, he came to some realizations that I think Love hasn't gotten there yet. So the fact is, they're going to couples therapy and everything. It's really, really interesting. I thought the Season 2 finale was setting up, like, the next door neighbor going to inadvertently be his mom, but it seems like it's his new obsession, which even leads to complications, because it's like, he's like, oh my god, here I go again. It's like, oh, wackiness ensue, like, here I am stalking another woman. But you add on top of that, like, Love's, like, immediate way of kind of reacting and stuff. We do see them dealing with someone, because, like, Love kills someone, and you see as they're disposing of the body, there's a wedding ring. So whether that's the same character, whether that's a different character, where Love thought he was obsessed with some other character and ended up killing that character, where his real new obsession is someone else, maybe. Could we also see, like, there's someone, I think, looking into them, because it's like, it might be a guy, oh, his ex disappeared and he's looking into that, or his wife disappeared, like, whoever, like, whatever that lady is who's has some relation to the lady that Joe is stalking now. Or it might just be like, this might be related to the person that Love killed that isn't the person Joe ends up stalking. We'll see how that kind of ends up playing out. Like I say, it's a weird thing, because I thought they would work out to a certain extent, because, like, despite everything, they found each other, and I was actually kind of like, oh, like, the best example I can make is, it reminds me of James and Alyssa from Into the Effing World, specifically the TV show, because I'm a lot more well versed to the TV show, because I've never read the comic. I do know some of the differences between a comic and a TV show, and I think there's still some elements applicable in that regard, but I think I always thought, like, the relationship is kind of messed up, but there is some beautifulness to it in a weird, twisted way. I think that's kind of applicable, at least for me, in that case of Joe and Love. No, not way am I saying, like, it's a healthy, great relationship. Obviously, it's the most extreme version of James and Alyssa in that regard, but it's just like, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I'm glad you found each other in a weird, twisted, effed up way, but still, you know. But I thought, like I said, I thought they'd be happily ever after. I kind of get the feeling, just immediately throwing it out there, I get the feeling like Joe's going to end up killing Love at the end of the season, because he's probably going to justify it by, like, oh, son, like, your mother wasn't, she put you in too much danger, because he had even said it, like, he was always searching for the one, but obviously having a child changed him in that regard, because, like, right, it's about protecting his son more than it is, like, I think that's becoming more his newest obsession to a certain regard. So maybe that's what this new obsession is, actually. Finding someone that would be a better mother and life partner to kind of be in his son's life, rather than his son's actual mother. Like, maybe that's kind of going to be, like, the story of it. maybe he doesn't realize that initially, but eventually maybe that ends up becoming like some deep subconscious element of why he's doing what he's doing now, even though like he kind of found someone, because it's like it's not all picket fences and, like I said, rainbows and roses and everything's good. Things kind of aren't, you know. So there's a part of me thinks like he's going to end up killing Love at the end of it, which, another weird thing to say, I kind of hope he doesn't. I hope they make it work in a weird way. Because I would have expected them to be more of a team, but I love that they are, well, they are kind of, well, we're together, we gotta, you know, back to the old ball and chain, I gotta help cover up some of her mistakes and stuff like that, which I'm sure she'd be like, my mistakes are born because of you, you're not the man that I married type of thing, and he's probably like, you're not the woman that I initially stalked and then I found out about this stuff. But it's also like, for her, it's like, I sacrificed a lot, I did a lot for you, you know? I handled the Candace situation. I handled a lot for you. Hell, even my own brother, I was fine with him being dead as long as you were okay. You know, so it's like, I sacrificed a lot for you, and kind of, it feels a little ungrateful, but it's also, like I said, Joe's made a tiny bit more progress than Love has in the, like, like I said, realization element of things. But, so that's going to be interesting, but it just does seem like we have a character in this who is suspicious of Joe, which is like, yeah, Joe, she is right to be suspicious of Joe, but I'm wondering, like, is it going to end up being like she's super suspicious of Joe, like, oh, he's up to something, and completely ignoring Love? It's like, oh, Love seems so normal. Like, maybe, I mean, to be fair, she was able to hide who she was most of last season, so like, like I said, I love that twist because I never saw that coming. So maybe that's going to be their ultimate weapon in this case, because she's like all focused on Joe and won't see Love coming. You know, the Kansas Shuffle, so busy looking over at Joe, you don't see Love and her complications. So we'll see how that plays out. But like I said, I hope Joe doesn't end up killing Love. I hope they are able to work it out. I just don't think everything's going to work out for Joe, you know? Because obviously you get a little Dexter vibe for this, and it's like, well, things didn't always work out for Dexter. I'm saying that for someone who has never finished the show, and obviously, like, the new series, you know, well, reboot / continuation is, like, next month? No, November, I believe. Yeah, I think. Regardless, you know, so I also should have thrown this out here too earlier, like her with the axe and everything, and like, oh, I'm impulsive. Like, it definitely, and it's not a 1-for-1, but it immediately made my brain go there. It reminds me of like, So What If I Married an Axe Murderer, the movie with Mike Myers and Nancy Travis, which I haven't seen that movie in like years. Just another movie I have to add to the bucket list of like rewatching. I was a little scatterbrained during this, but obviously like these are just some of my thoughts. I'd love to get to know yours in the comments down below. What did you think of the trailer? Did you like it? Are you excited for season 3? What are some things you expect to see? What's some things you want to see? Let me know. Especially let me know if you're someone who's a little more familiar with, I believe, books, because I believe there are like multiple books, or is it just one book? I always forget. I'll include an annotation to correct myself in the the video, or I'll either put it in the comments. But whatever the case may be, yeah, if you're familiar with the book or books, do let me know about your thoughts about the show so far, and yeah, just let me know all your thoughts. But really, that's all I want to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day, and goodbye.